The mystery of human existence lies not in just staying alive, but finding something to live for. Fyodor Dostoevsky. Welcome to episode 2. What are you living for? Welcome back to the Legacy Alice podcast. And if this is your first time here, thank you for coming and check this out. So just a recap of our first episode, all about legacy and how you shape your legacy and just what to look for in these episodes. So today's episode number 2, what are you living for? Yeah, I'll give you a moment. That's a big question. So thinking about it, what are you living for? What is your why? Why are you here? What have you been called to do? So many questions that all line up with why you are here. And that's the beauty in it all. Getting to the point where you figure it out. And the great thing is, figuring it out is only the beginning, the tip of the iceberg, so to say. But it all boils down to one thing for me, and that's purpose. Your purpose is what drives you, what people see, what they understand, all about you. I do a lot of meditating and journaling, and it's my peaceful place, my happy place. So when I start the day, I kind of know, okay, I'm setting my intention. But one of the things that comes out of my journaling, and I have a lot of journals, is going back and reading and seeing that theme that's consistently in all of my journals. And that turned out to be my purpose. My theme was all about how I felt I made others feel, experiences, setbacks, heartache, all of that. And my theme ended up being just helping others, seeing the bright side, and turning it around and not letting these setbacks and these experiences and even my joys just shape that moment for me, because I always knew that it was greater. And that's what I want for you all, to get to the point where you can see your purpose. Some people are born knowing their purpose, which is amazing. But if you're like me or like you, it takes some time. This isn't a overnight thing for some. This isn't a just bam, I know it, I'm gonna go do it, because once you figure it out, it's scary to go do it. And that is the beauty in it all. Dictionary.com states the reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists, is a purpose. Think about your purpose. I know you're still thinking. It takes some time. We're going to delve into some steps to help you figure out your purpose and going back. Think about children. We're going to start the simplest form. As a child, you're asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? Seems simple enough, especially for a child. Some of the things you hear, doctor, going to be a lawyer. These days, a rapper or an actor or some tech guru, because these new age children are different. And I love it because the ingenuity is just amazing. So you hear these things. And in the words of my nephew, he's going to be a paleontologist. So I love it. And as you grow up, those things have changed. So your passions have changed. Your experience have somewhat changed. You might have grown up wanting to be a doctor. and then get to about the age of 12 and realize that you don't like the sight of blood. Kind of changes your path. Just different things, many experiences. And that's the great part. What drives you. I'll share my story. I wanted to be a forensic psychologist. Anybody who talked to me knew that. I watched Forensic Files, any crime TV show. I'm going to find these criminals and I'm going to figure it out why they're doing this, and they're going to jail. And then I started working on my degree in psychology. I started doing internships and I started working with offenders. And I was like, wait, is anybody checking to see what led them to commit these crimes? Because I didn't see a lot of conversation about that. I didn't see what can we do to stop them from reoffending. So my whole purpose kind of changed. And I didn't want to put criminals in jail. I really wanted to rehabilitate them. I wanted to work with them to stop these patterns that are leading them back to a life of crime. And that's currently what I do now. I work with offenders, and I work with returning citizens, and I work with individuals who have co-occurring substance use and mental health, and work with them on breaking these generational curses that have impacted their legacy thus far, and helping them to turn that around to do something more meaningful. And that's what I want from everybody. That goes back to my theme, my purpose, in helping people to live a life well lived. We're going to have a past. That's inevitable. But you can turn that around and shape it into what you want it to be now. So it's never too late. And there are plenty of ways to do it. But I'm going to give you my top 3 ways to work on shaping your legacy and finding your purpose. So you might want to get a journal and keep it, because I want to give you all just tidbits of stuff that I've learned and stuff that have come from my experiences to help you to get there. This is a continual process. So I have a lot of little nuggets that I could provide. So let's start at number 1, your inner voice. That thing deep down inside. You can feel it in your belly. That thing that you know you're doing something, but it just doesn't feel right. That's your inner voice. And it's telling you where you need to go. When your spirit just doesn't sit well with something, it's your inner voice telling you so. I'm a firm believer in listening to it, in going with it. I've seen what happens when I didn't listen. So I've seen what happens when I did. So it's just a God's gift to help you to shape your purpose and just give you more meaning. It's like that little cheat sheet for you. A little help to help you get there, which is great. Also, number 2, staying firm in what you believe. That inner voice has spoken. And it's scary because finding your purpose should be scary. But also be open to standing firm about what you believe in. And trust me, there are many different sides to many different things. There are people are going to have their perspective on all kinds of things. But if you believe and you feel like this is the right way to go, follow your instinct. And regardless of whether it takes you straight to where you want to go or it's a step back, it's teaching you. You should be learning something through this whole process, but also stand firm to what you believe in. 3, going into that, knowing your circle. So everybody that provides you advice does not have your good intention in mind, whether it be coworkers or family. Oh yeah, family and friends. you still need to know your circle. And your circle should be helping each other get to the next level. And if your circle is staying flat, a circle flat. If it's not expounding, if it's not growing, and each of you are not moving to that next level, then there's a problem. And you need to reevaluate some things, because your circle is typically what's around you while you're going through these things and finding your purpose. Stay true to yourself and you'll get there. And it doesn't happen overnight. It's not something that's just going to jump out. And it may not be easy for what you're called to do. But know and trust that you can do it. And it's deep down inside of you. So I'm going to ask you again, what are you living for? You've just finished episode 2 of the Legacy Atlas podcast. What are you living for? I hope you took away some great nuggets on defining your purpose, and that you can use the information that I provided to help shape your lasting legacy. Come back every Wednesday. I'll be here. And next week, episode 3, we will be talking about the road less traveled. So bring your journals, because we'll have some tidbits for you to take away.